celebrate where the Blazers are.
It's
this pattern that we've kind of fallen into where the Blazers get off to this really slow start, and then it starts to get ugly early, right? It's 25-9. We're thinking, all right, well, look, it was cute. We beat Minnesota twice.
We had a fun run.
And then a solid second quarter. They claw back into the game. Then in the third quarter, which has been the Blazers' problem all year, and frankly, it feels like for the last decade or so, the third quarter's been a problem. They had the best third quarter of the season, beat the Hawks by 21 in the third. Then they can't score in the fourth quarter. Then it's like, really? We're going to get in the same spot that we talked about, Tyree, the last Minnesota games, where it's like, uh-oh, are we not going to find a way to win this game? And Portland, down the stretch, it looked a little bit scary. That challenge went as bad as it possibly could have for Portland.
Boy.
Not only did Portland lose their final timeout,
We're going to talk about that.
they lost the challenge, but because the official looked at it, it turned from a foul on the floor to a 3-shot foul. Trey missed two,
crazy.
Missed one. Ball don't lie. Each one rattled around. He found a way to make two, and then Shea down the stretch continues to impose his will in crunch time. Another 30-point-plus game. And
32.
You got to feel great about what happened at Moda Center today because you're doing it with the guys that you are building this team around in the future, right? I get it if perhaps it doesn't feel the same if it's Jeremy.
Shaedon Sharpe.
If it's DA. But if it's Shea doing this, if it's two doing this, if it's guys you know that are part of the long-term picture of this team, it's like, okay, we won. And we're doing the thing in terms of development. So coming away from this game, I feel about as good as you could. And it's crazy. From last Sunday, where we were just about a week ago on this show, saying they got to blow the whole thing up. This is a really bad spot. Tuesday's going to be a make or break spot for Portland. Now they've won 3 in a row. They're 6-8, and they're just 1 half game out of the final play-in spot. 1 half game out of the final play-in spot.
You're going to have Portland Dad's heart just busting out the chest.
Okay.
Dude. Hold on now.
Let's be excited now.
All right.
We got the NBA Cup this week again. Portland is in a unique position where they're not trying really their hardest to make the playoffs. Let's be charitable and say that. But you have this in-season tournament that we're like, all right, what is this thing? What does it really matter? But you saw what happened last year, the excitement when you got to Vegas. Portland is now in a good spot. They go to Houston later in the week. Then they have to play
It's going to be interesting.
Against the Clippers and the Kings. Beatable teams. They've beaten the Clippers already.
I was about to say, I already did it.
So
on the road.
With this momentum, with DB Hooper coming in and providing that energy, with Rob being this guy on defense that you can build everything around, prolonging possessions, you have a lot of things to point to, and where my mind immediately goes, it's not, are we winning too much? Should we be losing? It's squarely on the NBA Cup because there's an actual thing you can point to and say, hey, if the Blazers keep it rolling for another month, then they have the opportunity to grab something tangible, right? It's a thing they can point to. And then you kind of reevaluate from there, right?
I see what you're doing.
But don't you agree, Tyree, that this is the best possible time for Portland to be on a little bit of a run because maybe they can get a couple more cup games, come out of their group, and actually have these young guys play for something before the realities of this season have to set in with playing for the lottery and maybe making some moves and reshaping the team. Go with what you have now for another month and worry about the rest of the season once we get to Christmas and the New Year.
Okay.
You see the path that I'm
I see the path you're developing.
Yeah.
Okay. It's just hard. The reason why I'm thinking of it like that is because when we came into the season, absolutely none of this. We didn't think none of this. We thought, first of all, we only had to rely on Anthony and Jeremy. We thought, okay, we just need to win as many games as we did last year, which was 21, just to keep it afloat. And then obviously everybody's talking about the tank for Cooper Flag, whatever. But now let's reverb that. Now we're what? We're 14 games into the season.
14 games in, 6-8, 3 in a row.
6-8, better than a lot of the Eastern Conference records right now. Got a better record than the Miami Heat. That's a treat for you guys.
This record would get you in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. The map out that you made is very legit, and it's honestly the best possible case. And I say that because when you look at the NBA Cup, it's in its year 2, and the first year, respect to the NBA for putting this on, people weren't paying attention as much as they probably wanted it to. And especially the Portland team, who's coming off of the first season without Dame. It takes some time.
Things take time.
But now we're in this year. We won game 1. We beaten the Clippers. We know that they faced them again. I think the mindset of, all right, we may not win the championship, but we may be able to have that NBA Cup banner raised in our rafters if we want them to. I think that's a good mindset to kind of approach. You made out a great plan. I hope Coach Billups is listening.
It's something to play for.
It is.
I'm sure they're thinking about it because, again, the NBA season is long, and the losses will come. But you have like a different little pocket of the season that you can point to with this NBA Cup.
A little extra seasoning in your ramen. Yeah.
And you're playing very well at this point, and we'll talk about the game coming up. That's probably going to be a dose of reality, but I'm the goofball who sat up here and said the Blazers had no chance in the second game against Minnesota because you figured the Timberwolves would come back and light them on fire, and that didn't happen. So predictions out the window, Tyree. I'm just excited to see what's going to happen because I don't know what's going to happen. One thing that's going to happen is the third member of our crew is rolling in right now.
Danny Murray.
Danny Murray
joining the set.
Hi, Danny.
Oh, hi.
Danny, do I have a reason to be so optimistic and happy now?
No.
Why not?
But that's fine. That's fine. Like,
you know what? I'm going to say this. Danny is a reality check guy. He always puts me in check.
I just try to be consistent with this stuff. And just kind of looking with where they're at, just the math behind stuff. Like, yeah, it's fun. Winning is more fun than losing. There's no debating that. There's no arguing with it. There's no, this, that, or the other. It's much more fun. And the thing about this is, for everybody's like, well, they just need to just pull all the veterans and play the kids and do this and like, well, number one, you can't. Number two, you've got 15 different guys who have competing agendas. And everybody's like, well, it should just be about the team. It's like, well, there's that and then there's reality. You got people that are playing for minutes. You got people that are playing for spots, and you got people that are playing for contracts. And you have all these different things that are happening. And so you can't – it's why you always say organizations tank, not players. And that's exactly what you're seeing happening out on the floor right now. Chauncey Billups tried to give Scoot Henderson multiple chances tonight to close the game.
Yeah.
And he couldn't. And Chauncey Billups, look, we all know it's kind of a lame duck situation. And the likelihood is they're probably going to make a change in that position next season. And when you look at that, Chauncey's going to coach to win because that's what coaches do. And you look at this, and it's like, I'm going to get super nerdy for a second. If you look at the Pythagorean win expectation, so that tells you like net rating and everything that comes along with that. Okay. Coming in tonight, they should have only won 3 games. Like that's I got a little Clark Kent going on here. Here we go. Definitely not Superman.
So they're outperforming from a win-loss perspective.
They're not
where they should be.
Yes. Yeah. And like that's the run of play in the NBA. When you talk about 5 points here, 5 points there, what's the margin of victory tonight? It's 4 points. 4. Most nights, when you're talking about the literal thousands of games that transpire over an NBA season, come down to 5 points. And so sometimes stuff's going to go your way. Like tonight. Tumani Kamara wore Trae Young like the Men in Black guy, like an Edgar suit. He just sat there and said, come on in. I'm going to take you and drag you up and down this floor, and I'm going to make life just absolutely – the look on Trae Young's face in the second and third quarter was, pack me up and get me out of here. I am done with this Belgian dude.
I'm fighting the urge to do Men in Black impressions after that Edgar suit reference, but please continue.
But, I mean, there's so many different things that happened tonight. Look, I love Delano Banton, and I think he's an NBA player. Is he this guy? Mm-hmm. Like the history of his career so far was like, well, he's young, he's still figuring it out. He's like 4 months younger than Anthony. He's not 20 years old.
This is who he is right now, and you said it a lot. You keep what you kill, right?
Yeah, exactly, so and that's what Chauncey did tonight.
That's what Chauncey did tonight. I was a little surprised that Scoot got back in the game with the last couple minutes.
There's a
little surprise.
Very specifically, they come out and they run a set. And I look in the corner. Rob's in the corner with 2 in the same corner, and Delano's kind of going like this. Jeremy's in the other corner, and the spacing's just a nightmare. Guys are just not getting where they are. Delano is a get downhill, collapse the defense kind of guy. Now, what has made him more useful right now is he's knocking down threes. But he's a downhill guy. He's not a natural creator. I was talking to somebody tonight where I'm like, Delano Banton, the reason why he's so difficult for opponents is because he's jazz music. He doesn't. It's always offbeat. It's always
unpredictable.
Watch him drive. you think you've got him, then he just slides back the other way, and he gets back the other, and you just kind of go, I don't know how to deal with that. And I think that's what makes him useful when you're talking about scoring. But they needed Scoot, and the thing that Scoot does is he is good at organizing. You go here, you go here, you go here, and you just kind of woosah, close things down just a little bit, and they gave him just enough. Because Scoot had some moments tonight where he was out of control and reckless, but he also had moments of like, okay, let's put the rails back on this thing.
Him and DC were good together at times.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
They're to figure it out. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk more about DB Hooper and Scoot Henderson's play on episode 14 of the Rip City Wrap-Up, sponsored by Dick Hanna Subaru. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be back.
City Wrap-Up, brought to you by Dick Hanna Subaru. Believe in nice. Here are your hosts, Tyree Smith, Danny Meringue, and Joe Simons.
There we go. Come back into our show, episode 14 of Rip City Wrap-Up, sponsored by Dick Hanna Subaru. 114-110. The Atlanta Hawks fall to the Portland Trail Blazers tonight. There was a lot of good stuff in this game, but there's a lot that we ought to get to. First, let's hear from our sponsor, Dick Hanna Subaru. Joe, with the amazing voice, talk to us.
Dick Hanna Subaru, they're all about making the car buying experience a pleasure. Not only does every new Subaru come with a lifetime powertrain warranty, but for a limited time, you'll also get 2 Mount Hood Fusion Passes with your purchase or lease. Dick Hanna Subaru, they believe in nice. Visit today and see what makes them different. You may notice we look different. We fixed Danny's chair.
Oh.
It was really
I'm not actually a foot shorter than everybody else up here.
I mean, that's the life I live.
Short kings.
Short. You're taller than me still, Joe.
Yeah.
It's
a term of endearment.
Yeah. You know what? For some people it is. Is it when you hear Short King, do you feel good?
I do. I always feel good, Tyree.
Let's get to the tag board. All right. Make sure to use the hashtag. Make sure to use the hashtag RC Wrap-Up, baby, and join the conversation. Aaron right now is bringing it up. The little bit of DB Hooper, ready to extend DB Hooper. The constant deflections and ability to get by that first defender with size is too valuable to let go.
Wow.
Hashtag RC Wrap-Up.
All the Aarons excited about DB Hooper.
They are excited. I mean, how can you not be? 23 points, second leading scorer on the team. It's not Anthony Simons or Jeremy Grant, the two people that we said needs to lead the box score in order they're going to win. No, it's DB Hooper, the guy behind Scoot Henderson, was trying to find a little bit of time in this rotation when we started the season. But now he's finding maybe more time than Scoot in some minutes, in some ways at least.
Let's just keep it going. It's not broke. I don't see a reason to fix it. Chauncey was asked if Van's going to be in the starting lineup, and I think he was pretty surprised by the question, and I was surprised to hear it too. No, Scoot is the guy you start. DB's the guy you bring off the bench. And you kind of see who's rolling and go with them until Ant is back in this lineup. That's been effective so far, and I see no reason to deviate from that.
No, and I think what was once a concern with the Blazers bench is become kind of a bit of a punch. I mean, tonight the bench carried them.
Yeah.
I mean, Delano and Shaedon were what kind of got everything done tonight. But you get Rob with 14 and 8. You get Denny with 12, 8, and 4. I thought both those guys, Rob and Denny tonight, were phenomenal on both ends of the floor. Absolutely phenomenal on both ends of the floor. I talked to Denny real quick after the game, and I was like, hey, man, have you ever played center before? He goes, no, not once. And he's done it 3 times in the last couple of games. And the thing is, he's like, I go, well, I mean, you can rebound. Like he goes, yeah. And he goes, I think I'm one of, if not the best rebounding wing in the league. And historically, last 4 years, he has been. And I actually brought it up. I showed him on cleaning the glass. I go, yeah, you've been in like the 90th plus percentile. He's like, what do you mean? Like, what does that mean? Kind of a deal. And I go, it means among wings, like you were ranking in the very top. It's basically between you and Jason Tatum when you talk about like minutes played. And that's been the case. And I think you're starting to see Denny again with 8 boards tonight. He is a guy who is a very, 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 very good defensive rebounder. And I think part of like his value comes in grabbing and going. And when DeAndre Ayton's healthy, that's how DeAndre makes a living, is finishing around the glass and grabbing defensive rebounds. And I don't think it's necessarily been a bad thing, but I think there's been some moments of like where they've both kind of chased the ball, and you've had to have a little bit of a Carmelo Anthony, bleep out of here situation of like it's a balance that you have to kind of strike in that situation. But the bench tonight was incredible. And Chauncey was asked about in the postgame about Shaedon Sharpe, and I continue and will continue to say this: Shaedon Sharpe getting downhill, good. Shaedon Sharpe taking off the bounce threes, not good. You want to take him like the 30-footer that he had to take, great. I mean, it's awesome to see that shot go down. But when did he get going? When he put his shoulder downhill and just got downhill over and over and
12
over
free throw attempts. That's what you want to see out of Shaedon Sharpe.
Yes, because, and look, it's a difficult thing. I was talking to Shaedon preseason. I might have been right when he came back from the trip. I can't remember. It all blends together. And I asked him about, dunking, and I'm like, you should be a guy that gets at least a dunk a game. And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to kind of get back to that, because that's what he was his rookie year. Last year, even before the injury, he was facing so much pressure. It was hard to get downhill and get those dunks. And he goes, it's so hard. Like, you don't realize it when you watch Dame get all of that defensive focus night in, night out. You remember Dame was a guy who he was in a dunk contest early in his career. Like, he was a guy that got downhill frequently. When you have that offensive creation burden, it's hard to get downhill and also just barrel down, plant, jump stop off two, and punch, night in, night out. But I think he's picking and choosing his moments. And I think Chauncey's even said it now multiple times of like, we want him to be aggressive. And I think that's the thing, as you saw tonight, is even when he did settle a few times, the next time he had an opportunity, it was head down going to the rim.
And I'll say this. Boy, that right there on your screen, are we good? That's a great question. So we're 6-8 right now, right? Okay, we're 6-8, 3-game win streak, 1-0 in NBA Cup games.
It's a big one.
It's an important one in terms of the status right now with NBA teams. Are we good? Compare us to the rest of the NBA. Compare us to the Eastern Conference, the Western Conference, all of it. How good are we compared to the rest of the NBA? Because if you're asking me personally, real quick before them, we are a lot better than half of the Eastern Conference teams right now. I'm talking about right now.
Yeah.
I think there's some yes and no to that. So, again, to go a little nerdy here, if you're going to go 4 factors, okay? The 4 factors, you've got your effective field goal percentage, your turnover volume, offensive rebound rate, and free throw rate, okay? Tonight, Portland was in the 59th percentile, which is slightly above average for effective field goal percentage. On most nights, that's going to keep you in games. They were in the 16th percentile in turnover rate. And the only reason that didn't end up mattering is because the Hawks were tremendously sloppy.
25 turnovers.
Toumani Camara was an absolute basketball terrorist tonight. He made Trae Young's life miserable. And you could just tell it was just him and Denny and Roops just took turns, and Chris, I just want to make sure I had Chris Murray to that, just turn them over and over again. But Delano Banton was also pretty loose with the ball tonight. So kind of cancel each other out, okay? They gave up a 99th percentile offensive rebound rate to the Hawks tonight, which means the Hawks were killing them on the offensive glass. And then on free throw rate, the Hawks were in the 78th percentile and the Blazers were in the 17th. On most nights, that's a loss. But they did just enough and like this is when you're talking about like rolling the dice and how things come up your way versus not come up. Look, Shaedon doesn't hit a 30-footer.
Yeah, it's a different story.
It's probably a loss. Like
if Trey knocks down all 3 of those free throws after the challenge, it also might be a loss.
And that's they've had a lot of those instances go their way early. Look, I'm not trying to be Danny Downer. I'm just talking about over the course of 82 games, the stuff that is coming up positively for you, there's bound to be regression.
But it's small sample size for the moment, and I don't think are we good is a very relevant question, because what it is presupposing in my mind is, are we going to be good over the long haul? Are we going to be good over 82 games? And I think we can all agree the answer is probably no. If good is making the playoffs, then probably not. Are they playing good right now? Yes. Are they on a 3-game winning streak? Yes. Did they lose by 45 at home just a week ago?
Yeah.
Yes. All of that can be true. I can at once be excited about the prospect of Portland being competitive in something like the NBA Cup, about them winning 3 games in a row, while knowing that they're going to Oklahoma City on Wednesday, and that's going to be a big dose of reality. But even if they get drubbed in that game, maybe they go to Houston and take care of the Rockets and then go 2-0 in the NBA Cup. So it can be a little bit of both. The bar to clear has been cleared for the Blazers at this point.
Yep.
We thought this was going to be a horrendous basketball team with the injuries that we had going into the season. Shaedon Sharpe wasn't part of the opening day roster. Robert Williams wasn't. These are big pieces to the success that they've had in the past week.
Probably 2 of the most important players they've had in the past week.
Offensively and defensively. Yes. And Shea's ball distribution tonight was incredible. Coach Holton was showing some of it, but some of the passes he had, and there were a few turnovers in there too, to your point, but the playmaking is such a net positive right now.
Yeah.
I just think that a more important question is, are you having fun? And I think we all are at this point.
Well,
it's been a fun start to the season.
Right now, right now in this, it's so easy for us to get caught up in what we're going to look like in January, February, March, which is the important times when, that's when the team's going to decide what the future is going to look like.
How many ping pong balls you get.
Exactly. But right now at this moment, shouldn't we be focused we're on a 3-game win streak? This team's fun.
Enjoy it.
That's what I'm focused on.
Here's the thing. Even if they had lost these games, let's say they lost the last 3. Stylistically, what they have done, they have, again, their identity. They're long, they're big, they're athletic. They're going to be disruptive. I mean, you saw it tonight. When you can make Trae Young have that look on his face.
They're annoying people.
Yes, and that's
all you can ask
is part of their identity. And I think you can kind of build off that.
We got so much more to talk about this Blazers team. 114-110 win. When we come back, we're going to be talking a little NBA, what's going around in our NBA, and what's going on the Western Conference. This is episode 14, Rip City Wrap Up, sponsored by Dick Hanna Subaru. See you after the break. There we are, folks. Welcome back into the Rip City Wrap Up here the Rip City TV Network. Episode 14, sponsored by Dick Hanna Subaru. 114-110 win over the Atlanta Hawks. You got to be feeling good if you're a Portland Trailblazers fan, player, coach, whatever is going on. You got to be feeling good. And you got to be nice out there today because you got to win. Nice like Dick Hanna Subaru, right?
Oh, they do believe in nice.
They do, don't they?
Tyree. Did you hear Dick Hanna Subaru is giving out Mount Hood Fusion passes, Tyree?
I didn't, and I really want to go.
Yeah, 2 passes, plus every new Subaru comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty.
I told you they believe in nice. I'm telling you.
It is a perfect time to grab a Subaru and hit the slopes this winter.
We are going to go hit the slopes this winter.
It's going to happen.
It has to happen.
Ski party.
Not yesterday, tomorrow. Now.
No.
Now.
My hands are freezing, and it's like 40-something outside. We'll work up
You're
there.
in for it.
I know I'm in for it. We're also in for Trend-BA. Let's go to the Blazer box, my friends, and see what's going on our social media. Well, if you were wondering about where Inside the NBA is going to go, well, it ain't going far. It is going to be starting next season, ESPN ABC, which is going to be the new home for Inside the NBA. Got Chuck, Kenny, Charles, Shaq, Diesel, you got them all, boys. They're going to be sticking around as the group. They're just going to be on ESPN, ABC. So a new type of format that will be. Guys, how excited are you for this to continue with the four boys?
Look, I love those guys, and they're a pillar of the coverage of the league. But I think we need to move away from it being the pillar of coverage of the league. Did you guys hear what Brian Windhorst of ESPN said earlier this week? Like the way the game
about
is
NBA
covered.
media?
Yeah. And I
so
think
you think he's talking about Inside the NBA as
not entirely, but
okay.
We're going to talk about that.
Well, the idea of like where it's all at. Like I think it's a good thing that those guys are coming back because they've been around for 25 years and they're great at what they do and they make the entertainment product great. Like that is a big deal. But the devaluing of certain things, like if we're talking about how the NFL is covered, and yes, it's an appointment viewing sport, and it's a little bit different because it's not so frequent. It's 17 over 82. The value goes up a little bit more. But if I flip on an ESPN show for the NFL, I'm going to learn something. Like I'm going to get something out of it. And if everybody says, well, nobody wants to go X's and O's, and I'm like, well, they do in football. Why? And I think part of that is you have trained your audience to want that content. And I think that's a big part of, like, you have to not necessarily take the easiest route of, like, here's more trade material and here's more who he played for. And, like, look, watching Kenny and Shaq run to the board is fun. You know, watching Charles Barkley trip and fall over or having a smoke machine pour over the top. It's great content. I love it. But it can't be what your league is based on.
Well,
let's go to the Blazer box, too, while Joe's talking a little bit about his answers. Talking a little bit about what Brian Windhorst.
So this is what Windhorst said. He's basically saying, like, it's all highlights, basically what Dan said, right? It's not getting into the storytelling and what you were sort of accustomed to perhaps in the 90s, the heyday of the NBA era for a lot of people. I think a couple of things, Dan. First of all, I don't think Inside the NBA is a good thing to use as an example for how anything is covered in any league in North America.
Because it's very different.
It's so unique, and I think of Inside the NBA as a late night show. I don't really think of it as a basketball show. And I think what you're talking about is very true. When I watch, someone like Amina Kimes, anyone on NFL Live,
Orlovsky,
that
Kevin
show
Clark, any of the guys.
is unlike anything else. And it is X's and O's. And I do feel like I learn a lot. I learn a lot listening to Lamar on the broadcast. He's very good about integrating X's and O's in a very digestible way. I do think that there is an opportunity to have a show like NFL Live that teaches the average fan about X's and O's. A lot of the stuff you talk about on this show. But I think it's more in a daytime format as opposed to immediately following a game. I think the majority of fans want to have something that is more entertainment-based than perhaps hard X's and O's at the end of the night. I could be wrong about that.
No, I think
do think there's an
on.
appetite for both, though.
I think in that regard, I want to get your thoughts on this, Tyree. Having it be the post-game show as opposed to the halftime, and the post-game show. Like, I think there's different audiences. I mean, like us, we are a different audience. We are not a fully packaged, produced, all highlight reel show. It's much more free flowing. We'll jump around, discuss
conversational, exactly.
And I think there's different things that you're looking for in different time slots. Like, do you think that's something that needs the kind of change? Is just the shaping of the NBA narrative?
I'm trying to think of it as in 2024, right? What appeals to the audience now didn't appeal to them even in 2013.
Yeah.
Like, so it's very much a different type of beast and audience that we're working with now. I like what you said. There has to be a little more of a dive into the game of exactly what's happening on top of the entertainment. And NFL Live does that. Richard Jefferson and the what's it called? That's not obviously
The Thursday Night
NFL,
Football
but
crew.
yeah,
him,
exactly.
Him and Whitworth,
They provide a type of analysis that's fun. It gives you just enough of what you need to know. So your argument is very valid. I think Inside the NBA is good because of the 2024 audiences that we're getting. They want the entertainment. They want the quick, fun stuff, right? That's going to kind of draw you in, but then you're also lacking entirely the information you need to know about the game.
I think it's incumbent on the league to develop better fans. Like, I know how weird that sounds, but it is a responsibility of the league to go, this is why this is important. Go talk to a baseball fan and ask them about spin rate for pitchers. So like the granular stuff that baseball fan cares about, they didn't care about 10 years ago. It was a lot of feel and a lot of this. And I'm not saying that analytics is the thing that matters. I'm just talking about as a progression.
Yes.
We have got to be better about that.
I think the NBA has greatly regressed in a lot of ways, and I think most of it has to do with the Wojcification of how basketball is covered. Transactional news, I know people love it. I think it is one of the most boring, tedious aspects of following the NBA.
Can you elaborate on transactional news?
Yes, like this player has been rumored to go to this team. This trade is going to happen. This player is unhappy. All of the
soap opera,
the gossipy soap opera garbage. That yes, there is some entertainment value to it, but it has such diminishing returns in terms of how people digest the sport. And I think that's something that the NFL doesn't do because there aren't a lot of trades in football.
Well, they do it in NFL trade week, and that's about it.
And it's so quiet compared to the magnitude of the NFL. If there were huge trades made at the deadline in the NFL, ESPN would be going round the clock on it. But it's like, this linebacker gets traded for a 5th-round pick, whereas the fortunes of franchises in professional basketball get changed every trade deadline and every offseason.
They're joining the conversation using the hashtag RCWrapUp. Actually, about this topic, let's bring that up on the tag board, Danny, when we get a second, because this is an important topic. It's coming from Daniel. I think the biggest issue of coverage for the NBA, we appreciate you joining the conversation, by the way, isn't from inside the NBA. It's how ESPN has covered it. Highlights, threes, dunks, and everything out of LA or New York being more important.
Daniel, push back on that.
Yeah.
I push back on that. SportsCenter was the most popular sports show in the 90s, and that's all it was highlights. Yeah. It's dunks and threes. I don't think that's what it is. I do think that little Twitter clips probably serve a very small minority, but because we are like all on NBA, like if you're on NBA Twitter makes sense. If you're not, it's like when I try to explain something from NBA Twitter to my girlfriend, she looks like at me like I have a third arm growing out of my forehead. It doesn't make any sense.
Which sometimes is fun.
But
to be honest,
it's a very valid point. I just don't think the highlights is what's doing it.
I think it's the other stuff more than anything. Like they said, the transactional soap opera rumors that impact it more than anything. But I participate in it, but I also spend hours and hours and hours going over literally like all of Donovan Klingen's minutes.
Yeah, you're not a good example. He's not a good example of the common man.
I get it. It's overall, it's a dicey thing because honestly, it's objective. What do you think the issue is objective?
Absolutely.
Right? It's basically what's going to bring in the numbers now. And inside the NBA is one of the things that's bringing in the numbers now. We're having another break here. We'll come back. We'll talk more. Looking ahead to OKC on Wednesday, episode 14, the Rip City Wrap-Up, sponsored by Dick Henry Subaru. Thank you for joining us here in the Rip City TV Network Studio C, episode 14 of Rip City Wrap-Up, sponsored by Dick Hanna Subaru. Before we look ahead to OKC, I want to bring up the Blazer box with a little bit of true NBA. Just look at this. Beerman, I love you, man. Zen Danny Meringue with his 2022 draft night reaction. This man knew what was up. Folks, can y'all see that? Do I need to? Yeah, click on that, boys.
Enhance.
Danny, you look like a mix between.
Very tired man.
You don't look tired. You remind me of
draft
Hugh
day.
Jackman a little bit.
I was definitely tired there. That's probably midnight after doing the draft show and then doing a couple radio appearances and a couple TV appearances, and I was definitely cooked that night.
Hey, I don't want to forget. Shout out Beer Man. I met him at the neighborhood bar the other day.
Oh,
you
nice.
did.
Jesse, thanks for watching. We appreciate your support, buddy. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, that is dope.
Very, very sweet man.
All right, that's awesome. We got to talk a little bit about what's coming up for this Portland Trailblazers team.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy, right? It's not going to be
On the road
easy.
again.
On the road, Wednesday, 5 p.m. tip.
Even beyond this road trip, they have 12 of the next 25 games, and I was talking to a bunch of the staff.
Let's go ahead and bring up that Blazer box.
It's tough. Like, I mean, Oklahoma City, even without Chet, even without Isaiah Hartenstein, everybody's like, well, you just go big and you play Donovan. We've spent most of the show tonight not talking about Donovan after going 17, 12, and 8 because he's a rookie who struggled tonight. Now, I thought he outplayed Clint Capella, but I also thought that when they went small, they made his life very, very, very difficult.
They did.
And that's the thing is, when Donovan's in it's very similar to I wrote about Donovan's minutes on my Patreon from Wednesday.
Check it out.
And I'm going to get a little nerdy here in the technical side of things. The Minnesota Timberwolves normally have 49 drives a night, right? On Wednesday night, they had 47. 30 of them came with Donovan Kling on the floor. He affected 16 of those 30, which that's not all drives are like at him or around him, but he managed to affect or impact half of them. And by that, I mean turn them away entirely or altered the shot. That doesn't count his 8 blocks. So the impact that he had was otherworldly. I mean, it is just transcendent. If he can keep his foot in the paint, he shuts it down. I was talking to a couple of the Hawks folks, and they were like, that's a big old boy. He makes Clint look small. But when they can go smaller and they can play Larry Nance Jr. at center, they can play Jalen Johnson at some center a little bit, they can get a little weird, it neuters that. And OKC is going to do that because they don't have any bigs. Like, they're going to have Lou Dort and Alex Caruso at the center, and Donovan's not going to be able to deal with that. Now, maybe if you're the Blazers, you go, throw him in the water. You know, it's that's how babies learn how to swim. And
well, that's what happened last time we played OKC. When that game was in doubt, they went small, and Portland
went,
had absolutely no answer for it.
Well, look, in college, he's staying in the paint because the floor shrunk, and you're just going, come through me. I mean, you go back to the NCAA tournament when Illinois decided to try to challenge him at the rim over and over and over again.
Oops.
Yeah, you don't do that. But you put him in space, and you make the 7'3", 290-pound guy try to move his feet. Look, Donovan's got a quick mind, not quick feet. And that's not a shot at him. He's enormous. He's not supposed to move that well. So that road trip is going to be brutal, but again, it's 12 games in 25 days, and it's going to pile up on guys real quick.
So, Tyree, I heard something recently that I hadn't heard yet, and it's a possible nickname for Donovan Kling. And I think your boy actually came up with this. Sprague. Block Lobster?
Oh, God.
Because he's from the Northeast.
Yeah.
Whenever he
like
gets the block, you can do the da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Yeah, you could.
Is there something to it? Block
Lobster?
Block Lobster. You know, like the B-52 song, Rock Lobster,
Yeah.
Block
Rock
Lobster.
Lobster.
Yeah,
Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah. Think about it.
I'm talking to Donovan later this week, and I'll run it by him.
Run it up the flagpole.
I'll run it.
See if
Let's
he
just
likes
see.
it, but I don't
Look,
know.
I can
like
already see
that.
the Trailblazing shirt in my mind.
Look,
You like it.
Donovan, I
Clint
love
Kong
it.
is incredible, and like if they could ever get
Thank
Denzel
you.
to like do an edit, just saying.
I don't,
Just saying.
that would be, see, can you
Just
really?
throw Block Lobster. We'll just
I don't
just
know.
see if it sticks. Just see if it
Block
sticks.
Lobster.
We've got a lot of graphic designers in the Trailblazers community.
Yes.
We got you got to draw it up.
Come on.
Block Lobster.
Let's see it. Also, let us know what you think about Block
guys.
Lobster. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Hashtag RC Wrap Up. Come on.
There you go.
Please, because I don't think I like it right now. I think it's
I
because
don't think I like it.
I don't think I like it right now.
That's fine.
I'm gonna be honest, bro.
No,
listen.
if you don't like it, you
listen,
don't like
dog.
it.
Let me be honest with you.
Look, I mean,
all
I
right?
could see him out there, you know.
Yeah.
let me be honest with you. All right,
Lobster
homie. That's Black Lobster.
It's not
just
for you.
doesn't- No, I'm a nerd. I like King Kong, Godzilla, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
King Kong work. King
monster.
Kong.
Wasn't there a
killing
giant
it.
lobster?
Huh?
Wasn't there like a giant lobster like monster too?
Was that one of the ones that
like
he was battling?
I think
No,
I think there was one.
Actually,
I think there
it
was
wasn't.
one.
It wasn't a
Poor
lobster,
people
but it
tuning
had
in
claws.
for their regularly scheduled K2 programming are listening to these
What
goofballs.
is going on here?
I'm
This is on the
sorry.
big channel we're
Yeah.
doing this right now.
All right, my bad, guys. I'm
No,
sorry.
that's my bad. That is my bad.
No,
Sorry.
it's good, bro. You're good. You're
happens.
good. Well,
Like I said, it's more conversational here.
here, listen. Is it gonna be bad or good on Wednesday? 5 p.m. tip against OKC.
I'm done making predictions, Tyree. I'm absolutely done making predictions about what this team is going to do going into a game.
I think
lost today.
Oklahoma City is look. They're going to be shorthanded, and you know with the lack of bigs, it's going to be a problem. But
Cash clean.
Cash Klingon?
check it out.
All right, now I like money. Cash clean.
Right. But I mean, it's not just OKC that they have to deal with on this trip. You've got Houston twice in the back-to-back as well. And the thing that I keep hammering is that they're now 6-8. They've played 14 games.
Only one half game out of the final play-in spot.
Yeah, okay. Beyond that, though, it's 12 and 25 games. Yeah. We are going to hit on December 8th, I believe, is the last one before the cup stuff.
Yeah.
We kind of sorted out. At that point in time, Donovan Klingon will basically have played his entire college season already.
Gosh.
And so I'm expecting the rookie wall to hit for him. I'm expecting guys like Tumani Kamara, who haven't played this many minutes with this heavy of a burden, to kind of slow down. Shea to probably slow down a little bit, and just kind of build that endurance throughout the season. And I think naturally some stuff will happen. One thing that I think is really, we haven't really talked about much, is ball win and hoop. The threes fell tonight, and they got the volume up as well. And I think that's a big part of, like, if you look at the last 3 games, they are divergent from what has been the norm for them shooting.
14 to 38 tonight.
Look, I mean, if you get that, I think 14 is the number.
That's
I think we
the
all
number
kind
we
of
keep
agree.
talking about.
And if you
Right.
get the volume above 34 and you're hitting 14, that's kind of where you want to be, 37, 38%.
The math is mathing at that point.
Yes, and again, what ended up being the difference in the game tonight? If they if they hit their 10, 12 threes, they don't get it.
If Trey hit one more 3, we're talking about a closer
And you
game.
lose the Shaedon 30-footer. Like, again, it's the coin toss stuff, and that's why I'm like, look, enjoy this.
Make or miss league.
I'm not going to take your joy out of this. Enjoy it, because things are probably going to correct.
Right.
That's just the math just kind of bears that out.
It's too long of a season.
Yeah.
At some point, it's gonna look a little bit different compared to this 3-game win streak that we're super
But this is
happy
fun.
of.
Have fun with it.
I feel like I got to.
Yeah,
I can't stop. I started the show
Look,
fire.
it can
man.
always be worse. That's the thing. Like, it can always go sideways. It can always be one of those things that derails. Something doesn't go your way. You can have some bad shooting nights, and then all of a sudden, you're stuck in we've won 1 and 7, and like that gets pretty tough.
That's an issue. More on the Thunder versus the Portland Trail Blazers on Wednesday when we come back on episode 14 of the Rip City Wrap Up, sponsored by Dick Hanna Subaru. Blazers, whoever's on social tonight, give him a raise.
Shout out, Fernando.
Riley McPhee says, drinking game, take a shot every time they say pop.
Riley, that's not safe.
I only said it once tonight.
Riley, not on a Sunday. You have work tomorrow, Riley. Come on, that's not safe.
What are we?
You can't do that.
Look, if people start playing drinking games, I'm just going to start saying stuff because I'm an agent of chaos.
What were you? What's the game? If you say what?
Ball going hoop.
Take one right now.
Riley.
There we go.
Riley's in trouble, Tyre.
She's in trouble. I don't know. We're going to see. I think we may say it like a couple of more times. We don't want you to be too messed up for dinner.
Whatever your limit is, I'll find it and go past it.
There we go. Let's talk a little NBA, folks. This is an interesting subject. Go to the Blazer box. This has come from Evan Turner. You know who that guy is. I might sound like an old head, but the excessive language in post-game interviews is starting to get tacky. 12-year-olds carelessly using curse words, LOL. That means laugh out loud. As we athletes are smart enough to articulate ourselves for 3 minutes without cursing. It ain't cute or wavy, LOL. All right, Evan, stop with the LOLs. And this is coming from me.
Which,
I agree. I don't like the LOLs. LOL is like saying like, ooh, I'm kind of saying something, but I'm not really. Just say it. Just say it. I mean,
it's a soft, yeah.
I think I'm somewhere in the middle of this.
Look, Chauncey Billups, Sunday.
Yeah.
It had meaning. Personally, when I wrote up my reports from Sunday, I didn't use any asterisks. I didn't use any weird characters.
Right.
I put the whole thing in there because I thought it carried some additional weight. And now you can say, what
about the children?
Yeah.
Come on. What about the children?
And that's fine.
They're our future.
But in part of this, we are also just we're adults and we can talk about what that means and why it means what it
Flip on
means.
television in England. First of all,
yes,
every other word out of their mouths. Woo, baby.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's not
but
fun.
look, can we and should we conduct ourselves without using it? Look, I go 3 hours every day without using it on my radio show. I do it another hour here. Do I use it profusely outside of a microphone? Endlessly. Why? Because I was in the military and I don't know anything better and I'm dumb. But when the microphones come on,
yeah, it's easy to flip the switch.
it's not hard.
Like it is intentional. They are making the decision to use it. But like Ant Edwards did it in a post game last night. That might be the one that ET is referring to.
I would imagine that was what.
The only thing that I will say, as long as I have any semblance of a broadcasting career, I will never apologize for a professional athlete using a swear word.
No.
I didn't use that word. They did. They have to apologize. I don't like when broadcasts apologize for bad language. That's on the person, not the broadcaster.
Yeah, the sorry that got out over there, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
It's like,
No.
No, they chose to do that.
Yeah.
Look, and here's the thing: if you're going to stick a microphone in someone's face,
Oh.
following a game
Dude.
after they just lost,
Tiger Woods in his heyday, notorious for it.
Yeah.
Every other shot that was bad.
Yeah.
In his prime.
I mean, listen. What are you gonna do? They go through media training. They know about they
Especially now. You speak about sports in 2024,
Oh,
Tyree.
God.
Yeah.
That more than anything else.
LaMelo Ball just got fined $100,000.
$100,000.
Yeah. That's a big
$100,000
check.
for his comments after his in his post game.
NBA didn't like that.
NBA didn't like that. Can we say that here? I don't know if we should say it.
Yeah, no, NBA didn't like that.
Yeah, they didn't like that.
No,
Okay.
you can say that.
No, I mean what he said.
Oh yeah, no, I would say
I'm
that.
not
We won't say that. We won't say it. Exactly. But that
I like my money.
There we go. And that's an example. I'll say this. It's annoying because it seems to be happening, compared to recent, like
I will
before,
say
it wasn't
that a
happening
lot
a
of
lot,
the
but now it's happening a lot.
kids,
Yeah.
they are trying to do it a little.
I'm provocative.
Yeah.
Look at me.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah.
Viral clip.
What pushes the boundaries, and some brands want that.
I mean, I admit, when I saw the clip, you won't believe what Ant Edwards said in postgame with the eyeballs. I definitely took mute off and I listened for 12 seconds, so I'm part of the problem.
You're not part of the
admit it.
problem. Everyone wants to hear it.
Yeah.
I mean, are you? That's an athlete. You have to understand that as media, we're media. Yes, we are not gonna cuss. We aren't gonna do certain stuff. That's what we're supposed to do. No one knows, but it's provocative. Good.
That's 100% a good pull. Hey, look, Chauncey knew what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look,
He did.
again, as media, I just kind of went, oh, and just lobbed that up for him because I knew what he was going to do with it. Like, I'm not dumb, and he took it and threw it down. Like it is what it is, and I think if you're specific and poignant with it, it's fine. But if it's every bleeping interview,
That's the thing.
Like,
Is
come on, man.
it's like swearing in real life. If you do it a lot, it loses its impact.
Yeah.
But when you Here's someone who doesn't swear drop a big one. Whoa.
Yeah, your head snaps.
See what Jennifer just said? It's unbelievable. I've never heard her talk like that before.
I know you ain't gonna see Shaedon Sharpe or anybody like that using the cuss words on there. I mean, I'll say this about Shay.
Yeah, you said that a few times, Tyrese. Like, is this man gonna get excited?
Dude, I was watching the game and I was just like, and
flatliner.
Listen, let's bring up the Blazer box too, since we're already talking about Shay. But like, dude, oh my gosh, I just want him to a little smile sometimes. But this is what they're talking about on social media using the hashtag RC Wrapped Up. Amazing to think that there were people ready to bail on Shay 10 minutes in the summer league once upon a time. Where do you see his ceiling?
We don't.
Well, look,
we don't see
he crashes through it every single game.
The thing about Shea was in this past summer league, he did look a little rough, but he also was coming off a core injury with a surgery that takes a very long time to come back from. I've talked to Dame, I've talked to Nas, and I've talked to Shea about it. You have to push through a certain level of discomfort and, to be blunt, pain to get to where you fully return from that surgery and can be fully functional.
That's the name.
And look, I didn't mention it that much throughout the summer because so much of I wanted to just let his play do the talking. But we talked off air a bunch about Shaedon, and the thing that I heard all summer long was the same thing. He found that switch. Like, I had people tell me when he was playing down in LA that he was the best player on the court at times, and like he found that hardcore, and again talking about cursing, that bleepity bleep switch of like, that's a dude who's like, he gets it. And you saw tonight and you saw it on Wednesday night that when he decides to be aggressive, there's nothing anybody can do about it. And if you're talking about his ceiling is an all-star caliber guard. Like, he has all of the tools. There's no question about Shaedon Sharpe's tools. Can he score? Can he contribute as a playmaker? Can he defend? Can he be disruptive? Like, there's no questions about that.
I'm smiling at you because I don't think that's frankly the ceiling that people think Shaedon Sharpe have, who watch the 2 games like this. Yeah. I think they can start to daydream a little bit, Danny. And I think that's probably what they're doing, and that's unfair.
What's that?
I'm not even going to say what they're thinking, but yes, all-star, sure. Anything beyond that is unfair.
How many all-stars has this organization had when they were on this team? Go down the list. It's guys that, when you have a no BS all-star, Dame, Brandon, LaMarcus,
that's what it's been for 20 years.
Like,
yeah. Those guys.
You had a couple of guys who had an all-star game here or there,
like Duck or TP,
Jerome, but that's to be an actual all-star.
Right.
That is a serious player, and that's the thing. Is like, I think he has. Look, I don't.
CJ never made it.
No.
So you're saying he's going to be a more effective and better player in this organization than CJ.
And
McCollum.
CJ is arguably the 10th through 12th best player in this franchise's history. It's pretty good.
It's good.
32 points for Shea. He's going to go against Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on Wednesday, who they just fell to the Dallas Mavericks today. We'll be back next, episode 14, the Rip City Wrap-Up, sponsored by Dick Hanna Subaru. More Blazers talk after the break. Do you like that? Did you like what you saw today? 114 to 110 win. Hot? Dang it, I love that. Man, I hope we got to get another one of those. I think so. Wednesday, next game, and that's going to be episode 15 of the Rip City Wrap-Up here on Rip City TV Network, sponsored by Dick Hannah Subaru. Thank you all for joining us on this Sunday. Appreciate you, and we'll see you Wednesday. Go Blazers, baby!